How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, dependent on where you are on the planet. This is Rosemary Lonnie Knight, RNK for short, and this is the Deliberate Life Stream. How are you doing today? I was just reading about all these different kings. Okay, so I read the Bible and it gives the history of Israel and some of the stuff it's been through and all of that stuff. And there's all of these kings that get chosen based on birth or get installed based on whether some king of Egypt or some other king has decided to come and take over or whatever. But ultimately, these kings have certain authority. They have certain influence. And maybe you don't see yourself as a king or a queen or whatever, but you are, okay? You are. There is a realm of influence that is yours. There's a circle of influence, I think is what's his name called it, Stephen Covey, that there's a circle of influence that you have, influence over. And just like these kings, now, if they chose to follow their higher power and do the things that they were called to do, then the people that they led would also follow along and do whatever it is that the king was doing. Just the same as it works out in your life. There is, as I said, a circle of influence that you impact, whether you like it or not, whether you're aware of it or not. You do have influence. Now, some people are very aware of it and choose to keep growing that influence, okay? And you can be one of those people for sure, because it's just a deliberate decision that you know you're called to something more, you're called to serve people in a particular way. And so you're going to find different ways to love your people, to love the people you're here to, do life with. And so then you increase your circle of influence deliberately. But a lot of people actually go through life not realizing that they have an impact on the people around them, whether it's your immediate family, your extended family, the friends you come in contact with, the people you work with. You have impact. You have impact over all of that. You have influence over all of that. So how you choose to do life makes a difference to them as well. You can get deliberate about this. Most people kind of go along with the loudest person, but you can be the person that has the deepest soul, deepest wisdom, because you choose to daily get before your higher power or get in touch with your intuition, whatever you want to call it, and actually access that deep wisdom for yourself and for the people that you impact. So that is one level of influence for you. And you need to really, before I even move on to the next level here, I really need you to understand that you are important. Your opinion matters. The things you say, the things you do, they have impact. We can get so caught up in thinking that it's just little old me, doesn't really matter, blah, 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 blah. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. There's a film recently, well, not recently, actually, it's been a few years now. The Butterfly Effect, I think it was Ashton Kutcher or whatever, I don't even know how to say his name. And I really liked that film. It was a bit depressing, but I really did like it because in the end, I won't tell you, go watch it if you want to. I really liked it because it just kind of showed how everything you do has an impact on someone else. It really does. And sometimes, as I said, we forget that. We think it's just about us and just about how we feel and blah, 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 blah. But no, you are called to live a certain life. Now, you can choose to live that calling out deliberately, or you can just let it happen. Whether you're aware of it or not, you will be impacting people. Not always for good when you're not being deliberate about it. Sometimes, unless you have chosen to, which is a second level here, that you're impacting yourself for good. Because if you've chosen, you choose to get in touch with your higher power, first and foremost, for you. Yes, the outer level, the outer layer is that you do impact the people around you, the people you come in contact with every day, and you may go further to choose to expand that circle of influence. But you know what? It all starts with you. It starts with you. Well, and even deeper than that is your connection to spirit within. But first and foremost, it's like sometimes we have two parts of us. the deliberate part that chooses to live that life of calling, of prosperity, of abundance, of fulfillment, of freedom, whatever that means for you individually. But then there's a side of you that wants to be passive, that wants to try to pretend you don't matter, that wants to just about get by. Because there's fear, there's uncertainty, and that scares you, and so then you want to play small. But I'm calling you to tap more into the more powerful side of you, the more deliberate side of you. Hello, Ramprasad. Hey, how you doing? To make a decision to actually be that powerful person that you are. To make a decision to step into a deeper level of wisdom for you first, to connect with your God or your higher power or whatever you want to call your intuition, because you know that your true design is going to be found in that connection. And so you want to influence yourself for good so that you are paying more attention to the positives, to the good things. And so the other side of you, the more passive side of you, starts to kind of shrink and die. Literally. So then your whole life becomes more about the deliberate decisions that you make, rather than the, oh, I just don't want to think about it, I'm too scared, and kind of decisions. You know, I lived that way for a long time, the passive life, where you just kind of go along with things, do what seems reasonable, and I just want to, I just want to get through. No, I no longer just want to get through. I'm born for more. Born for a heck of a lot more than that. And so are you, if you choose to step into the deliberate life. You choose deliberately to design a life of expanded influence. Yeah, I mean, we're so blessed to live in this day and age where there is, that we have access to a lot of people just by choosing to show up. I was just writing a post about how people fear exposure because of the way you were brought up, because people maybe hurt you, because things have happened. And, for me, definitely, I've feared exposure for a long time. If not for the fact that I feel called to something more, I might not even be on social media at all because it can be scary. You start to think about the things that happened in the past, and you think about how people used you or abused you or this and that, the other, and you want to hide. But then that's not what we want, is it really? We kind of know that we're called to something more. The only way you get that something more is by choosing to be a person of influence. So it's not just happening by chance, but that it's a choice that you're making. First and foremost, you influence yourself for good, for the things that you desire. You see the vision and you decide, you know what, it's not too big for little old me at all. It is just the right size for the right size of me. It is my vision, and I can choose to bring it to life. And so first and foremost, you influence yourself for good. And as you choose to step into the more deliberate part of you and allow the passive side of you to die, then this circle of influence increases. You start to impact more than just your children, more than just your partner. You start to influence your community. You start to influence the people beyond that. You don't even know the impact you could have once you wake up and start realizing, you know what? I am queen of my world, or I'm king of my world. I'm not just a no one. I matter. I matter. And so I will take care to ensure that I'm speaking life, that I'm living a deliberate life. And it's a choice that we all get to make. Do you live small? Do you live passive? Do you pretend you don't matter? You're just one of 7 billion and so it doesn't really matter? Or do you choose to wake up and truly live and recognize that you matter? There's no mistake about you being here. It doesn't matter what has happened in the past. You are now here to live a big, amazing life. It's your choice. Always your choice. And so if you choose to live a deliberate life, one on the path to your true design, then, honey, go get my book. It's Pray, Affirm, Receive, How to Get Clear, Stay Clear, and Take Action to Get What You Desire Out of Life. And you can get a copy of that at rosemarynonnyknight.com/book gift. Just going to put the link in here for you. rosemarynonnyknight.com/book gift. I do believe that it's everyone's divine heritage to live a life of prosperity, to live a life of abundance, of fulfillment, of freedom. I call that the deliberate life. But you get to choose whether you're going to get on the path or not. Basically, it's your choice. It's your choice. And if you choose to be that person who does what it takes to live a life that is yours to create, a really good life, then honey, get the book. That's step one. You'll hear from me quite regularly, just so you know, as I try and open your mind to what is possible for you. Okay? So share this with somebody else if you feel this was inspiring to you. And go get the book. Until the next time, my honeys, much amazing love. Let's do this life together, okay? Much love.